Hello and welcome to the official AE Racing YouTube channel. My name's Rob.
I'm Mike.
And
we're fucked.
And this is going to be the first episode of many that is going to be showing you the transformation of this chassis into a fully fledged racing car.
Roll over. Alright, so this car is going to be racing in the 750 Motor Club, the Ma7da Locost Series.
Yeah, and one of our lucky subscribers is going to get the chance to drive it in the future via a competition that we're going to be launching, but we'll bring you more details on that in a future video.
Yeah, so to get this to race within that race series, they have to adhere to a bunch of regulations, have to be certain specs and things like that. Part of it is that we have to use a Ma7da 1.8 engine and a few other parts. So we bought a donor car, which we nicknamed Swiss Cheese. We'll show you why now.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. Catch me howling at the moon.
Alright, so we've got the lump out with the gearbox. This we've got to take off because the 750 Motor Club have a controlled one, which we got buy from them with a restrictor plate and a bunch of other stuff, just to make sure everything's even basically, and every engine's the same power and there's the same amount of air coming in. We'll take the gearbox off. We're going to end up putting a race clutch in it anyway, and then we'll strip the engine down to a certain point so we can check it all and make sure it's all right.
Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men.
And then we've named her Swiss Cheese because of the amount of holes in her. Now there's obviously a giant hole. And this will just, got to take the rest of the wiring loom off, because we've got to use, it's easier to use the wiring loom that's on there because it's got all the plug connectors for the bits we need off the engine. And then we'll shove it outside, strip the interior out, strip the lights off, and then everything else we want to try and make a bit of money back on.
Will you find me? Hope you find me.
So as you may have already noticed, I'm not a mechanic, but luckily for me and anyone that wants to build a race car, Mike is a mechanic. So he's going to give us a bit of a lowdown from the front to the back of the chassis and let you know, and me, what we're going to be doing to it.
Yeah, so we've already got parts down here from our donor car basically, which is a Mark II MX-5 with what they call the BP engine. And these are the bits we've ripped out of it. So the steering column, the gearbox, the engine itself, the main engine components. We've got a couple of prop shafts. One came with the chassis, one we've taken out with the Ma7da. The rear diff and the front suspension, which is all this part here. These, what they call control parts, so they have to be a certain type of part to run in the race series. So these are called the uprights. These are from a Ford Cortina, same with the calipers, they're from a Mark II Cortina. These lower and upper wishbones are a set for this chassis. They have to be the same, and this is from a Mark II Escort with a certain ratio in it. All of this stuff can be found on the 750 Motor Club website, and all the details on there tell you about the measurements and the spec of what the chassis should be. They should tell you all the measurements of what the chassis should be, which is one of the first jobs we've got to do, is measure all of the suspension points, because we didn't build this, we bought it in this condition. So the pickup points on here and down here where the top and lower arms are going to go, and then also down the back where the rear trailing arms and the rear axle sits. those points, if they're not all welded in the right place, then we could end up with the car either trying to crab down the road, or we end up with some weird, dodgy handling issues. So that's one of the first things we've got to do, is double check that. Then we've got to start mocking up the engine and gearbox, trying to fit it in. I think, pretty sure these mounting points for the engine are for the original Ford engine that they used to use in them. So we've got to cut them out and probably make some new ones. You can buy them, and a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing for this, you can just buy the parts off the shelf from a few different places, to be honest. We've still got to do the sort of the dash mounting area across there. We've got to get pedal box, and then brake lines. We've got to get a fuel tank that's going to sit in the back, fuel lines, fire extinguisher kit, seats. We're still going to get a steering wheel. So down the back, rear axle everything sits in here. We've got the rear brakes and stuff are mostly attached to the axle at the moment. And then one of the big things as well is the cage, the roll cage. So it mounts up through here. It ends up being a 6-point, which again is all as per the Motorsport UK's regulations. Once we've got it all together with that, then we end up getting things like the wheel alignment and everything sorted. Start testing it really, and seeing what needs to be changed, and if anything needs to be changed, and then just start ragging it around a track.
So now you've seen what we've been spending all our money on, lots and lots of parts to make this into an awesome race car. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to check out the future videos that will be coming thick and fast, so hit the subscribe button. See you next time.